Well, we have a nice crowd here tonight. I want to thank everyone for coming. I assume y'all are so happy that I'm leaving that you're showing up. Or so
Make
happy
sure you're
that-
leaving.
So happy that Eugene's going to be our next mayor. So this is the May 13th, 2024 regular city council meeting. We are calling this meeting to order at 6 p.m. We have a quorum. All council members are present. Everyone would please stand for the pledges of allegiance and the invocation. Mayor Pro Tem. Honor the flag. For tonight, I've asked my pastor, Omar Garcia, pastor of First Baptist Church, to do the invocation, and his son number 2 out of 5 came with him. So, bro, it's yours.
Amen. Well, let's pray. Father God, we thank you for today. Lord, you brought rain, and we needed it desperately, so we give you praise for that. Lord, we also give you thanks for how you have led Mayor Chris and this council team to a great place for tonight. Lord, we give you all the honor, all the glory. This is your city, and this is your town. These are your people. And so, Lord, we do pray just a blessing over our new mayor, Bustamante, Lord, and the pro tem, as well as they lead this city with your wisdom and your guidance. And so we do pray a blessing and the Spirit to be heavy as they lead and as they follow your guide. Lord, I pray a blessing over those individuals who are in this room that represent the city well. And so tonight is about you, and it's about how you are going to lead this town to be holy, to be set apart, to be honoring to your son, Jesus. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Omar. We have a couple of proclamations tonight. The first one is the Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week. And I will go down to the podium, and if there's any peace officers that want to come and stand with me, that would be great.
He's here. He's at the podium already.
Well, I saw the sheriff back there too. Come on up, Sheriff.
He said, "Oh man."
I feel well protected. There you go. Okay. The City of El Campo proclamation, Peace Officers Memorial Day and Police Week. Whereas in every American community, law enforcement officers are committed to the preservation of life and property, risking their lives to protect us from all who would mock the law, providing protection, law and order, and serving the cause of justice. And whereas law enforcement officers, including members of the Campo Police Department and Sheriff's Department, accept a profound responsibility and work to uphold our laws, safeguard our rights and freedoms, and serve on the front lines in the fight against crime and terrorism. And whereas we honor the heroism of all our law enforcement officers, especially those who have given their lives so that others might live, and whereas by joint resolution approved October 1st, 1962, as amended, Congress authorized and President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th of each year Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of the federal, state, and municipal officers who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty, further designating the calendar week in which May 15th falls as Police Week, and has directed that flags be flown at half-staff on Peace Officers Memorial Day under Public Law 103-322 as amended. And whereas I encourage all citizens to express their deep appreciation to the men and women of the Campo Police Department, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered dedicated service to this community. Now, therefore, I, Chris Barbie, Mayor of the City of El Campo, Texas, do hereby proclaim May 15th, 2024 to be Peace Officers Memorial Day, and do further proclaim May 10th to 16th, 2024 to be National Police Week. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of El Campo, Texas to be affixed on this 13th day of May 2024. And it's signed by myself and our Secretary, Kaylee Cudella. And I will give this to you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank
We
you for all
appreciate it.
all of you and all of our long. Okay, the next proclamation is National Public Works Week. So who do we have from, do we have anyone? We have our director,
Yeah.
Evan Thompson. Welcome. National Public Works Week proclamation, May 19th to 25th, 2024. Whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week, themed Advancing Quality of Life for All, sponsored by the American Public Works Association. And whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the City of El Campo, Texas. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the City of El Campo, Texas, to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works in their respective communities. And now, therefore, I, Chris Barbie, Mayor of the City of El Campo, Texas, do hereby designate the week of May 19th to 25th, 2024, as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens to pay tribute to and to recognize the substantial contributions in which public works personnel make every day to protect our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of El Campo, Texas, to be affixed this 13th day of May, 2024. And again, it's signed by myself as mayor and Kaylee Cudella as city secretary. Thank you for all of that. Okay, the next item is a public hearing on utility rate increases as required by section 1305 of the city charter. What time is it?
6:08.
Okay. It's 6:08 p.m. We're gonna go into public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to that topic? There being none, at 6:08 p.m., I close the public hearing. Item 6, public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the City Council. In compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the City Council is limited to making a statement of specific factual information in response to the inquiry or reciting existing policy, but may not discuss, deliberate, or take any action on any item. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. The issue may be placed on a future agenda for consideration. We have one individual has asked to speak. Dustin Cruz. Mr. Cruz, will you approach that. Give your name and address, please.
Hello, my name is Dustin Cruz. I live on 1249 County Road 479. I just wanted to introduce myself to the new mayor. Just wanted to say, hope you do good for the city. Hopefully you bring back the sales tax a little bit down, try to help us out a little bit. But the other things I wanted to think about is I just saw in this video thing talk about no video recording during court. There's pretty much a lot of courts that said you can't record inside the courtroom because there's stuff going on. Outside of the courtroom, like in the lobbies and stuff like that, especially when you have like utilities and stuff like that, other people want to come. I'm pretty sure, because last time I was here, I would try to record in the lobby, and I got kind of threatened. I had to go outside, put my camera on the ground. Cop wanted just to kick it over or something. I'm just wanted to check up on these things, just like public records. Y'all don't have a trouble with that, but I know Luis does a little bit in the school board. I just came to check a little bit up and hope to see pretty good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to item 7, the consent agenda. There are 3 items on the consent agenda. Approval of City Council regular meeting minutes of April 22nd, 2024. Number 2 is discuss and consider moving the regular meeting of the City Council scheduled for May 27th, 2024 to May 28th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. The third consent item is Resolution R 2024-20, authorizing the withdrawal of a FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, HMGP, ER 4485 grant program application on behalf of the Campo Independent School District. Would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilman Hodges, second by Mayor Pro Tem-elect Barger.
It's not yet.
Any discussion?
It's not yet.
All in favor of the motion to approve those 3 consent agenda items, please raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. We're down to items for individual consideration. The first is ordinance 2024-10, canvassing returns and declaring results of the general and special charter amendment elections held in the city of El Campo, Texas on May 4th, 2024. And I will not read the Spanish version,
I was going to ask you to do that, Mayor.
although I could.
I don't think there's enough time in this evening for you to read through that entire
So-
Spanish version. Mayor, it's worth pointing out at your seats, there is a copy of the revised ordinance with the official tabulations as we received from Cindy Richter on Friday, as well as a copy of the summary results report in front of you. And this is regarding the at-large election as well as the charter amendment, Prop A.
Pretty self-explanatory, yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2024-10.
I second the motion.
Motion by Councilman Ward, second by Councilman Koblenz, to approve ordinance 2024-10. Any discussion?
I have one question.
Okay.
How many voters voted in the city election?
Not very many.
Yeah, it's on there.
I see how many votes are cast,
Haley, would you like
but how
to?
many voters were there?
Oh, you mean how many were eligible to vote?
No, how many people actually came and voted?
So that's a list that's published by the Wharton County Elections Department, and she hasn't published the full list of all the voters that casted votes in the elections yet.
So we don't know how many people actually came in and voted in the city election yet?
She probably has it. I just haven't requested the full
Okay.
list from her. I know once upon a time, council liked to receive the full list, and I usually bugged her for it insistently.
Okay, might let us know when we find out.
Yes, sir. I can get it
Thank
to you all tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving ordinance 2024-10, canvassing returns and declaring results of the general and special charter amendment election, please raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Item 7.2, administer the oath of office to the 3 at-large council members elect. So I will turn that over to our city attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my honor to give the oath to the 3 elected officials, so
Unfortunately, Kyle Wallace could not make this meeting. So
Okay.
tonight, we will only be swearing in Eugene
Two.
Bustamante.
right.
And-
Let's have Mr. Bustamante and
Blake
Mr.
Barger.
Barger, please come forward.
It should be noted, we will be swearing in Kyle Wallace at a later date. I think you're, I want the crowd in the picture. Do we need to move?
Straight ahead.
All right, gentlemen, if you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I state your name.
I,
Blake Barger.
Eugene Bustamante,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of council member
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of council member
of the city of El Campo, Wharton County, Texas,
of the city of El Campo, Wharton County, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States and of this state,
of the United States and of this state,
and I do further solemnly swear
and I do further solemnly swear
that I have not directly or indirectly
that I have not directly or indirectly
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
paid, promised, or offered to pay,
contributed, nor promised to contribute
contributed, or promised to contribute
any money or valuable thing,
any money or valuable thing,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
as reward for such office.
as reward for such office.
Congratulations.
What's that?
He's asking, does he stay down here since they're both gonna be sworn in for
Oh,
the
yeah.
mayor
They'll have to be
and
sworn
mayor
in.
pro tem? So Mayor, if you wanna go to that next item.
I'm sorry. I'm not that excited to leave that I'm
He's not ready.
Okay, item 7.3, declaring mayor and mayor pro tem based on canvassed election results and administering the oath of office.
All right,
Carry on.
thank you. Gentlemen, we can do this one at a time or together. How would y'all prefer?
Don't matter to me.
Together.
Together.
Together? I like
Together.
that. This is gonna sound really familiar.
Yeah.
You raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Eugene Bustamante,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And for you, Mr. Bustamante, will be of mayor,
of mayor,
and for you, Mr. Barger, will be mayor pro tem
of mayor pro tem
of the city of El Campo, Wharton County, Texas,
of the city of El Campo, Wharton County, Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States and of this state,
of this state,
and I do further solemnly swear
and I do further solemnly swear
that I have not directly
that I have not directly
or indirectly
or indirectly
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
paid, promised, or offered to pay,
contributed or promised to contribute
contributed or not promised to contribute
any money or valuable thing,
any money or valuable thing,
or promised any public office
or promised any public office
or employment
or employment
as reward for such office.
as reward for such office.
vacate the mayor's seat.
You were that
Yield
little
it
one.
to Eugene. And Blake, sitting next to the city manager is a great place for the mayor pro tem.
Congratulations, Blake.
I gotta take this.
And I lose a buddy.
I'm not going far, David. I'm not going far.
Temporarily, David. The next meeting you'll have that.
I'm not gonna fight at home right now. Somebody at my house gets yelled at, I promise you.
This time, be honoring Mr. Barbee. Chris?
If you'll indulge me, I'd like to say a few words before he honors you. Chris, 18 years ago, I met you. Do you remember that you asked me to join Rotary, and what did I tell you?
Well, no,
I told you no.
not at this time.
And it turns out I ended up working for you. So some of you may know that
I
Chris
worked for you first.
worked for me. So tables turned. And be careful how you treat people because you don't know when it's coming back to get you. But I've always seen your commitment to this community and the citizens and to our staff. It's never gone unnoticed. And as I say with all former employees and former council members, it was a privilege and honor to serve with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, whereas Chris Barbee, while serving as an at-large council member from May 14, 2018 until May 13, 2024, as mayor from November 9, 2020 through May 13, 2024, has rendered exemplary and distinguished service to the citizens of the community by giving his able and tireless efforts in a leadership role with the city of El Campo. And whereas Chris Barbee has generously used his talents, expertise, and judgment while conducting business for the city of El Campo, also additionally and unselfishly gave of his time in implementing projects and programs necessary for the well-being of the city and its citizens. And whereas it is appropriate that the city council recognizes the services rendered by Chris Barbee to the city of El Campo, and whereas during his service at-large council member and mayor for the city of El Campo, he has undertaken or completed a number of significant endeavors, the major being as follows. Maintain a strong, healthy financial condition for the city, affirming the city's credit rating of AA, completed the El Campo Comprehensive Plan 2020 update, adopted the Parks Master Plan, adopted a water conservation drought contingency and emergency response plan, authorized and completed numerous sanitary, sewer, and utility line improvement projects, authorized and completed numerous street paving improvement projects, authorized the purchase of equipment for EMS, police, and parks through grant proceeds, completed various plats and replats for additions and subdivisions within the city, recognized the financial reporting excellence and budget presentation for the Government Finance Officers Association, completed Phase 1 of the Tres Palacios Flood Mitigation Project, secured $14.8 million grant awarded through the Texas General Land Office for drainage improvements along the Tres Palacios Creek, reducing the floodplain footprint, approved policies initiating blighted building compliance and cleanup, received recognition as a Gold Scenic City, approved regulation of sexual offenders within city limits, recognize and re-recognize El Campo Police Department for achieving certification of compliance in Texas Police Chief's Best Practices Program, establish a utility roundup program, establish senior citizen discount. Achieved accreditation through the American Public Works Association, achieved certified retirement community status, adopted a hazard mitigation plan, adopted Unified Development Code and 2019 Design Manual, upgraded and enhanced city park play structures, adopted a 5-year capital improvement plan, implemented water storage tank maintenance program, authorized participation in Operation Lone Star Grant Program, adopted a revised plan for council member districts, adopted fiscal and investment policies, approved the funding of numerous infrastructure and site improvements grant partnerships with the City Development Corporation,
approved the retirement and transfer of ownership of beloved K-9 Officer Beamer, approved the participation in a nationwide camera network system, strengthening the position of the El Campo Police Department, enhanced and upgraded the city's website, enhanced transparency by implementing live stream of the city's public meetings. Now therefore, be it resolved that the city of El Campo, that the city council of El Campo hereby express its commendation to Chris Barbee for the dedicated service, leadership, which he has so willingly given to the city of El Campo. City council does further wish to express its sincere gratitude for the immaculate attitude and working relationship with which Chris Barbee has tirelessly worked with his fellow council members, city staff, community leader, and most importantly, the citizens of El Campo. Presented this 13th day of May 2024 by Eugene Bustamante, Mayor.
Now, it sounds like I did an awful lot, but the city employees, the city management, the city council all work as a team. And that's how all this was done. And we've been busy, haven't we, Courtney?
Been busy.
And before I make some remarks, I want to introduce my family. Got my sister Karen, who's moved back to El Campo 4 years ago. My wife Carol, my son Jonathan. My daughter wasn't feeling well, so she wasn't able to attend. My brother-in-law Michael, again my pastor Omar Garcia, his son Josiah, and I won't go through the names of the other 4 boys. But we were proud to have Omar and his beautiful wife Vicky and their children in town. If I've forgotten anything else. At least I remembered my wife this time.
You better.
And I've always been more of a writer than a speaker, and it's not as bad as it looks. I did it in 24-point type, so I didn't have to wear glasses. I leave City Council knowing we have some very good people in leadership. I'm proud that I got to help hire Courtney Slottick as City Manager, David Marcarell as Police Chief, Garrett Bubella as EMS Director, Jimmy George as Emergency Management Coordinator, Crystal Hasselmeyer as Planning Director, and Renee Garcia as Assistant City Manager. Courtney, you brought great staff recommendations before us, and you've done a very good job building our team. And David, we're so happy to have you as our police chief. Where are you? He's out there. He's out there.
Gordon's.
Keeping us safe.
Okay. There he is. I'm bragging on you.
I know, I heard my name. I said,
I'm gonna repeat that. And David, we are so happy to have you as police chief. You bring a great deal of experience and professionalism to the position. And the same goes to Garrett and our EMS and our planning department under Crystal's leadership. It's the strongest it's ever been. Being elected to city council.
Garrett popped in.
Being elected to city council 3 times and serving as mayor for 2 terms has been one of my greatest honors. I've done my best to represent the citizens of this city in the best way I know how. I've always tried to answer or return a phone call, even when I suspected someone on the other end was probably not happy with the city. It usually boiled down to a misunderstanding or failure to communicate effectively. And I've always tried to attend a function I was invited to, including welcoming different groups to El Campo. I think my single greatest accomplishment was leading the charge to amend the city charter to allow the voters to decide who would serve as mayor and mayor pro tem rather than city council deciding. I want to thank Councilman David Hodges, who before he was on council, for encouraging me and helping me with that effort. Eugene, I think council would probably have elected you mayor anyway. But doesn't it feel good that the people wanted you to serve as their mayor? At a meeting of the Charter Review Commission 4 years ago, someone actually said that letting the people decide might make it harder for a minority to win mayor. Well, we now have a fine man named Eugene Bustamante holding the mayor's gavel. Eugene, I respect and appreciate you so much. Thank you for your support the last 3.5 years during my term as mayor. And Blake, congratulations to you. I still picture Blake as a kid on the Red Wave swim team and as a high school student. And I have other memories too, but I won't go into those. Blake, you turned out all right. I'm so proud that you are Mayor Pro Tem. I know that you'll give Mayor Bustamante all your support and encouragement the next 2 years. And I'm sorry Kyle Wallace could not be here tonight to be sworn in. I suspect that will happen at the next meeting, if not before. Another personal accomplishment is putting the wheels in motion to finally, maybe, getting North Wharton Street rebuilt in the near future, possibly in 2025 or 2026. Working with our state senator, Joan Huffman, through her district director, Gloria Millsap. Thank you, Gloria. The lady in the green jacket is our state senator's district representative. TxDOT sent representatives to El Campo recently to visit with our city manager. We'll keep our fingers crossed that this important project will receive funding during the next legislative session. And folks, we're talking at about $20 million, so it's no small item. The citizens have elected a very good city council. Every member loves El Campo and cares about this city. Every member brings something different to the table, which results in making the best possible decisions. We don't always agree with each other, but differences of opinion have been handled respectfully and cordially. Thomas, Steve, Blake, I'm going to include Courtney, Ronnie, Johnny, David, and Eugene. Thank you each for that. I will miss not being in the middle of things, and I will miss serving on city council, but I leave knowing the city is in good hands. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to present Mayor Barbee, beautiful plaque.
Trying not to put my eye out on it.
And do not travel too far because Ms. Millsap has something for you from Senator Huffman's office.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you might have it backwards. I think you might have had it backwards.
Good evening. Senator Huffman sends her regards. She wishes that she could be here with each of you. She congratulates Mayor Bustamante. She wants you to know that if you ever need us for anything, you've got our number. Just
Yes, ma'am.
reach out and we will do the best that we can to help you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Chris? Dear Mayor Barbee, I hope this letter finds you and your family in good health and high spirits. As your tenure as mayor of El Campo draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude for your years of dedicated service to our beloved community and for your friendship. Throughout your time in office, you have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the betterment of El Campo and its residents. Your leadership vision, and tireless efforts have played an integral role in shaping El Campo into the community it is today. Under your guidance, El Campo has seen remarkable growth and development, and your impact will be felt for years to come. Beyond your accomplishments as mayor, it is your genuine compassion and dedication to serving the people of El Campo that truly set you apart. Whether attending community events, listening to the concerns of citizens, or working behind the scenes to address issues facing the city, you have always put the needs of others first. As you embark on this new chapter in your life, I want to extend my warmest wishes to you and your family. May the future hold nothing but success, happiness, and fulfillment for you all. While your presence in City Hall will be greatly missed, I have no doubt that your legacy of service will serve as an inspiration to the future leaders of this wonderful city. With heartfelt appreciation and best wishes, Senator Joan Huffman.
Thank you.
And for me, I have enjoyed working with you, with redistricting, and I will still be around to help you.
Thank you. I
Okay.
will be around. And this lady, I told her once she needs to get an apartment in Wharton County. She's here all the time. Thank you. All right. Mayor. It's yours.
Mayor thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Chris.
Mayor Bustamante, if you would like to take a picture with your family. Some of our council members have acknowledged that we we did not give them the opportunity to be able to do that. So if you would like to do that.
Yep.
Right here.
We will get out of your way.
Or we'll get in it, you pick.
No. Yeah, Courtney, you gotta get in. You need to stop. Tracks there.
That's up to them.
We end up in the background, please.
Smile, Eugene. Smiling. There we go. I just want one more with my mother. Brothers and sisters. Need help, Mike?
She looks young enough to be your daughter, Eugene.
Huh?
Young enough to be your daughter.
I know. Yeah, sit in the chair.
Yeah. He's going back for more.
I've got a complaint for you.
Oh, what is it?
Pretty neat, pretty neat. It's Blake signed his.
I'm gonna go watch the Astros.
Yeah, you know they are.
He's not signed it yet. We're okay. Oh, goodness.
I am smiling.
Meeting's not in my hands anymore.
Can't y'all just share pictures?
Okay, now there's no one here.
I know.
Yeah.
Except JJ.
You should have said they had to stay.
Okay, Mayor.
All right.
Be smooth sailing from here on out. We are starting with this item right here. That one.
Okay, at this time, on to item number 4, special recognition and proclamation honoring Chris Barbee,
We handled.
which we handled. Number 5, ordinance 2024-11, amending Appendix A, City of El Campo fee schedule.
No, you don't need to read the whole thing.
Yep.
I will take it from here if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
There's a whole litany of fees that we are proposing to change. These range from lien fees to permitting fees to effectively removing the alcohol permit fee that not permit fee, the alcohol fee we have in our current fee schedule because the legislature changed how we can handle that, as well as the utility fees that you had 2 public hearing on and parks fees. If you have any questions about any of these individual fees, I'll ask the department head to come up here and walk you through why we're proposing to change these. And if not, I can attempt to handle that as well.
I have a question on the, for clarification. The $25 annual fee for the food truck fire system permit, it's in a construction permit, what is that?
I'll have Crystal Hasselmeyer, our planning director, answer that question.
Good evening. We are adopting new building codes in June, and one of the changes in the fire code is a fire suppression system for food trucks. It's not something we currently require, but when we take that into effect, we want to be able to have that fee associated with it existing in the fee schedule so that we can start rolling that out.
So the city of El Campo doesn't require a fire suppression system, but the state does, I believe.
For restaurants. For food trucks, though, our current codes do not require that. So when we do the update that we have to do this summer, that will include that change.
Okay, so do the brick and mortar stores pay the, or shops pay the $25 as well? Or is it just for the?
This
food
is
truck?
a different fee. This is just specifically for the food trucks. The brick and mortars pay a different set of fees as brick and mortars, but they already have that fire suppression system too.
Anybody like to make a motion on ordinance 2024-11, amending Appendix A, City of El Campo fee schedule?
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2024-11 as presented.
Got a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Barger,
I second the motion.
second by Councilman Koblenz. All in favor? Raise your right hand.
Oh,
Oh.
did you have a question?
Is there any more discussion?
I do have a question, or just a statement, actually. I think that, I see we're raising the rates on the water, and
Yep.
that affects the wastewater.
Yes.
It's kind of challenging to see us move that rate in the middle of a budget, considering the fact that our sales tax is up $800,000 and we have 6 months worth of fund balance in our account. So I know that it's going to go towards paying debt, but that brings me back to my other concern that we've issued debt before and not done the work. So we've been basically paying on it. So I think that what we need to look at when we do these projects is we need to first identify what the problem is, hire the engineering to determine what needs to be done to resolve the issue, put that out for bid so that we get an award, so we know what the dollar amount is, then issue our debt. I think that putting the debt first before we go to engineering, before we go to actually executing the work is going backwards. And it's also, it leads to the opportunity for the contractor to actually charge us more because they know if the city's allocated $5 million and the work's actually 2.5, they're not gonna do it for 2.5, they're gonna raise it to 5 million. So I think we just need to reevaluate our procedure on how we do these things, and I think that we should wait until October if we're gonna consider a rate increase on the water fees and the wastewater.
The sales tax is a governmental function. It belongs to the general fund. General fund dollars do not support water and sewer projects as they are a proprietary fund. This is an emergency project. None of us knew the line was going to collapse. And so that is what we're asking the funds for, are the emergency repairs. I completely agree with you. We should have these projects planned out. They should be designed. We should have a scope of service. We should know how much they are before we bid them out. And that is why you will see a capital improvement plan in front of you on the 528 meeting. We completely agree with you on that. But as far as using sales tax to support this project, it's not an option. You can't commingle those funds. You could loan it to them, but it would have to be supported back. And we've asked for the mid-year adjustment primarily, number one, obviously, as Mr. Ward indicated, to support the debt, but also to incrementally increase that rate, to not push that pain point too far when we have to go up again, which you will have to go up again, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this city, and we're going to be bringing those projects to you. So I just kind of wanted to give you the full picture here as we ask that you consider this rate increase.
I have a question. Is there any way to give us an idea of how much, so for instance, on the water rates, we're on the first 2,000 gallons, we're proposing to go up 75 cents. How much water does your standard 5-person household use? Is there a benchmark?
We can get you that benchmark. We typically just know how much the average user uses, but we don't.
So what's the average user?
It's around 12,000 gallons. Is that correct, Brittany? Right around 12,000?
Per month?
Per household.
Wow.
But that depends on, some households have many and some don't have a lot. And we have many users. What might be more helpful to this council is if in the future we give you who hits the minimum, the number of households that hit the minimum. Okay. Because you're seeing outliers on there. You're seeing large families hit that number.
Maybe with
and it depends on the month. Because in the summertime, we see that number inch way up as we see those irrigation systems in use, so.
This is also just the base fee, it's not the bulk.
That's right, we're not messing with the volume rate at this time. Unfortunately, that's so volatile that a 5% swing can cost the city $200,000 on a rainy year. So that's why we decided to affect the base rate. That was the decision there.
Anybody else? Any discussion, further discussion?
I was amazed when you told me how much the Wharton residents pay for water.
Yeah.
Incredible compared to us.
We'll benchmark this when we have budget discussions. And that might have been helpful here too.
Any further discussion? We got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Raise your right hand. Motion passes.
I'm a vote no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vote no.
Wharton citizens. pay
All against?
$100 a
We got
month
one no.
just for water.
Not sewer too.
No.
Moving to item number 6. Resolution R 2024-21, awarding engineering services to Urban Engineering for FM 653 South Wharton Street sanitary mains replacement.
And staff issued an RFQ as required per the local government procurement process and selected urban engineers. Matt Glaze is in the audience. We've worked with Matt on a number of projects. I believe that's included in the RFQ that is in your packet. Staff is recommending approval of this project. The engineering is estimated to be at $82,650. This is supported through the 2024 certificates of obligations that you issued.
Any questions or discussion?
I'll make a motion. I make a motion that we approve resolution R 2024-21 as presented.
We have a motion to accept the resolution by Councilman Ward. Got a second?
I'll second it.
Got a second by Mr. Hodges, Councilman Hodges. All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? I mean, yeah, that was right. Okay. Motion passes.
Unanimous?
Unanimous. Yes. Unanimous. All right, moving on. Item number 7. Resolution R 2024-22, authorizing an interlocal agreement with Horton County to facilitate road reconstruction of Fred Street.
Mayor and I went to Commissioners Court this morning, where the commissioners and judge unanimously approved this ILA, so there is a signed copy up here. This is a partnership between the city and the county to reclaim this road. Kevin will be happy to answer any questions you might have regarding this. We will be providing the supply's a good word to describe the materials, might be a better word, to make the repairs, and the county will be providing the labor.
High level, tell us how this came about.
Kevin, do you mind?
City limits, correct?
It borders, it's just right there. It's
Where is Fred
borders.
Street?
It's in IMUD, but it borders our
If you go down
Liberty?
Elwood.
Elwood,
it's the
that's right.
First road to the right, that is in the city limits. It borders and connects to the road reconstruction going on in the IMUD district right now. And I met with Doug Matthews, and we discussed it, and he'd be willing to if we would provide the product to stabilize. He uses the same stabilization system that we use here, and he agreed.
So they're already doing work over there.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
That's a perfect example of how we can work together.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Different precinct.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Shots fired.
I don't disagree.
All right. Any other discussion? Any other comments?
Give me a motion.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number R 2024-22.
Motion made by Councilman Koblenz. Anyone want a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hancock. All in favor? Raise your right hand. All opposed? Unanimous decision. Motion passes.
We certainly need more county participation in the cities.
We were well received this morning. It was a good meeting.
All right, we're moving to item number 8. Resolution R 2024-23, authorizing a proposal for plan review services with Quiddity for the purpose of providing plan review services as needed by the planning department.
And as you can see on the narrative on your screen, this is at no cost to the city. However, this is an agreement, so we need council's approval to authorize us to enter said agreement. We have third parties look at these plans, these big plans. The hospital comes to mind immediately to review them and then pass them back on. So we pass these fees through. This agreement is with Quiddity, an engineering firm we use frequently. They're doing these services for the city of Wharton, and so they've made this proposal, and it is in front of you for your consideration tonight.
Mayor, I move we approve resolution R 2024-23.
I second it.
We got a motion and a second on the floor. Motion was made by Councilman Hodges, second by Councilman Ward. All in favor?
I got a question,
Questions?
please. Secretary, not secretary, manager. Are you saying that Quiddity does the plan reviews for Wharton at this time?
Are they doing plan review or just engineering?
They're actually hired as their city engineer.
City engineer.
Okay.
Thank you for the point of clarification. I'm sorry if I misrepresented that.
We got a motion and a second. Or any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Motion passed. Going to next item, item number 8 is a special event permit fee waiver request and field fee waiver request El Campo Little League.
And in the audience, you can see Jennifer Hubenak and JJ Croy. The Little League has requested the fees be waived for the hook, line, and dinger baseball and softball tournament on July 26th, 27th, and 28th. Staff has reviewed that. That consists of myself, the assistant city manager, and the finance director, and we're recommending the removal of these fees for the reason that they bring in so many families to the area, and this is such an advantageous opportunity for people to see our community. This will be hosted at Rotary Park, and breakout of the fees is listed on your screen, but the total is $2,200.
Rotary Park or Legacy Field?
Rotary Park.
It's gonna be at both. So.
Oh.
But this is for Rotary Park.
Any discussion?
I have a
Questions?
comment on this. If is this the proper time to do it? We have to make a motion first?
Yeah, can we make a motion first?
Mayor, I move to waive the fees as presented.
Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Barger, I'm sorry. Second?
I'll second it.
Right now, you
Second by Councilman Hodges.
Okay, so it's right on a year ago that we did this before. And it was my first evening on the seat, and I did vote for it. And since then, I have, I guess, grown up a little bit in city business and such. I have a little problem with understanding this. These fees that we charge or that are collected, my assumption, those fees go for basically to recover the impact of wear and tear and maybe even to cover the employee base that is required to run and maintain these facilities. I don't want anybody to misunderstand me. I am totally for anybody that does, voluntary work, and my hat's off to the Little League and such. But here's my problem. We're looking at $2,200 in fees. Some of those are deposits. And yet we have so many other entities in our town that use our facilities, and I'm going to just name a few. The El Campo ISD, this is basically the Civic Center. We have Pilot Club, the Hispanic Education Program, we have Rotary Club, and I know we have the proverbial carrot of bringing a lot of business into town and so forth, and I'm not saying it doesn't. My problem here is, should any of these other organizations come in here and ask for a waiver fee, which would benefit them as well, we can't disagree on that, how are we going to I guess, decide which one should and which one shouldn't. If I was looking at this waiver of fees, and I had a nonprofit organization, and it would benefit me to come and ask for the same thing here, how would you tell me no or yes, is my question. And I really believe that since our last time we did this, we asked for also an audit of some sort. Am I wrong on that? To show what the impact is of the business brought in? Had we been given that?
That was part of the funding request as they request for funding. Not part of necessarily this.
Okay.
Can I make a statement real quick? So the Little League tournaments,
Can you come to the podium? Your name and address, please.
Sure. I'm Jennifer Hubenak at 804 Adele Street. So I am the assistant tournament director for the Hook, Line, and Dinger. This tournament is very unique in the sense we've been doing it for 10 years, and we are confident at this point that we will bring in 780 families that weekend alone. And if our tournament maximizes the use of the additional Rotary facilities, which is the first time we've ever requested it. We always have it at Zlotnick Park, and then we've started using the high school fields. But this is the first time that we'd like to use the 2 additional Rotary fields. But at a maximum capacity, we would bring in over 1,200 to 1,400 families for the whole weekend. So, and then we're also hosting the state tournament. This is, I think, our 4th or 5th year to host state softball, which is the beginning part of July. So that weekend alone, we bring in 200 to 250 families and bring a lot of publicity statewide to El Campo. So in the month of July, you're talking over almost 1,500 potential families coming through here that are seeing our facilities, they're staying at our hotels at Lost Lagoon, they're utilizing our restaurants and shopping. We work in conjunction with the chamber to make sure this event is highly publicized. And it does benefit our local Little League. It accounts for over 20% of our budget that we need for the year. So it's our second biggest fundraiser. And we currently have around 600 kids that participate in Little League each year. So this is a huge benefit for our community, but I think we're offering as much as we're asking in the waiver of that small $2,200 fee when you consider the trade out that the city will get from this.
Given the opportunity to make a comment. I'm J.J. Croy, 1306 Emerald Court. I've thought about this a lot because I totally, Councilman Koblenz, understand your point. One of the things I thought about when the city took back the funding that it gave us last year, doing what you had to do in the budget situation that you were in, I'm puzzled by why we aren't talking more about having more of these tournaments because of the economic impact. And it's like a chicken or the egg thing. Do you want us, a volunteer group of people, to do that? Or does the council want to realize what an asset we have and come to us and say, please, please bring people to our community? Now, waiving of fees is as frustrating as for y'all to talk about it once a year, $2,200 on a $20 million budget. And we shouldn't really be here. I would encourage y'all to consider allocating hotel motel sales tax dollars because the purpose of that tax is heads and beds, and that's what we're giving you. And I don't know where that $160,000 a year goes. I think that's the right number. But I would highly encourage you guys to think strategically about partnering with us. Don't have us come to you. Tell us what you need. We should have an allocation in your budget funded annually by hotel motel sales tax dollars. So let's partner together on that. I totally understand your point because you're making exceptions. The difference with this is we are putting heads in beds, the purpose of that tax. And so we appreciate you considering it and all the past support. We can ramp it up. She's amazing. Jennifer's, what she's able to do with this tournament and grow it and the sheer number. I think it was this tournament last year that one of our most populated Mexican restaurants down the road ran out of food one night. And that could infuriate some of our citizens, but hopefully we communicate well. That's what's happening. We're putting heads in beds and people in retail. I don't know if Carolyn Gibson's still here, but retail sales tax dollars multiply 6 to 8 times. And so you can come up here pretty quickly and think about if there's 780 families over a course of 3 days and they each spend $30, you're talking about $30,000 or $40,000, maybe $50,000 off of one weekend.
That's correct.
And so, let's figure out a way to work together. And I'd love to come back at some point and be on a committee that would help y'all explore how we can allocate some of those dollars so that we don't have to come back. If we're participating in something like that, I won't come ask you for a fee waiver. We'll pay the fee, but we love the city's support as we try to do things that grow our community.
JJ, can I ask you a question? Do any of the other organizations that are actually receiving our hotel motel tax for putting heads on beds assist you in this tournament?
Yes. So my understanding, and I don't know because I'm not on council, but I understand a lot of that funding was allocated towards the chamber. And we're very, very grateful because the chamber does lean forward and help us prepare packets, primarily for the state tournament, not for the hook, line, and dinger. Now, Carolyn Gibson is telling me in her capacity, like, tell me what you need, we'll get the word out. And, the word out is not so much as helping us recruit teams, because Jennifer is amazing at that. Like, we're going to fill the tournament. It's the 10th year, and it's a huge tournament. Like, most communities would kill to have what we have in this tournament. So, the support we need is just to get the word out to businesses so they don't run out of food. And so that they can maybe promote, and encourage people to come out and then shop locally when they're here. So,
Well, we do have great facilities, and it certainly would behoove the city and everybody in town to work towards increasing the use of them. I had someone tell me, a cousin from Victoria telling me what the impact was on baseball tournaments in Victoria, because they had a big organization that was really pushing that, and it said it's a huge, huge impact.
yeah. You don't want all these people here every weekend. I promise you that. But a couple times a year is awesome. And so we'd love to grow it.
Mayor, maybe before you were on council, you might have been, but we had a joint workshop with the Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things I suggested to Rebecca and the chamber members that were there, I told them my experience is Blake was probably one of my teammates playing select ball when Blake was a little child, along with my side. And we'd go to Brenham, we'd go to Lamar Consolidated, and there'd be a tournament there almost every weekend. And I told them the impact that made on the community, how much money was spent, and Rebecca and the chamber did nothing with it. So I want to applaud y'all for taking the ball and running, because it does mean a lot. And we should, just like you said, we should do 2 or 3 tournaments per year. And maybe that's something, if we ever revisit and get the chamber on its feet again, somebody might step and help these people out some. And I just want to say thank you so much for what y'all do.
And I was at that particular joint meeting, and the chamber directors and their manager said, no, that's too much trouble for us to do.
I know. Go figure. We got one of the best facilities in the state.
It's true. All right.
JJ, thank you for your insight and your solution to the challenge that's presented. I agree, there could be a way to work things out. I think the first step, and I'm going to piggyback, and this is where I stand with everyone, we don't have an agreement. We don't have an agreement between the city and the Little League with terms, conditions, roles, responsibilities. I brought this up a year ago. And that's not throwing stones. I'm just saying we're still here, and we should have had these in place a long time ago. The other thing is that when we were at that meeting that Councilman Koblenz is referring to, it was stated by city staff and the CDC they could provide us some information as far as the economic impact from the state tournament, because we did ask for that to see what it was, so that it does help us to be able to make those decisions, to be able to understand more clearly. And I don't think we've received either one of those, so that's not I'm just adding to what we talked about almost a year ago.
I have videos, because that was right around when y'all were considering cutting the funding. And I think to each of you that I had your cell phones, I sent you videos of the hotels that were full and the restaurants that were bustling. I mean, I know that's not an impact survey, but it was different than a normal Friday or Saturday night in our community that wouldn't have been there otherwise. And I'd be happy to forward that to anyone. I still have them because I just still have a strong conviction that this just makes too much sense for us to not want to do it and do it well. So happy to send along.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for what y'all do.
That's correct. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
This time, we had a motion on the floor and we had a second. All in favor, raise your right arm, right hand. Anyone opposed? Motion passes 4-2.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But Steve, I agree with what you suggest. Not to interrupt everything, but I agree that we ought to have, Tom, what we ought to have is a set policy for all nonprofit organizations. I don't know how we work that out, but we need to work on that sometime.
Moving on, we're gonna, next item on the agenda is Keep El Campo Beautiful Board reappointments.
The reason this is in front of you is because in January, when you created this board or merged it with another board, the Blight Board, one of the qualifiers on this is that board members would attend meetings. And so if they were absent of 3 consecutive meetings, you could replace them. And that's very important on this particular board because there aren't very many members. And the members that are there, I have to tell you how active they are and the plans they have for the city and how amazing they are. It's discouraging when there's only 4 of them really, really active or 5 of them that show up. So there's 2 members that have missed the requirement. So we're requesting that we fill those positions. You have 3 applications. They're in your packet. The 3 applications are from Savannah Stockton, Karen Sosa, and Monica Musgrove. And these are to replace the positions by Raquel Torres and Mr. Longoria, Andrew Longoria. And Ronnie, we've handled this in the past with nominations on the floor and.
Yeah, you can do it nominations, or you could, because those are 2 different terms, you're gonna need to specifically name a replacement if you're choosing to do that for which person in the term. You could put that in one motion, or you could take it one at a time.
Do it one at a time, is that correct?
That's fine.
We can do it one at a time.
Could we find out the qualifications of these people before we do that?
It's in your packet. She can scroll down and you can see this is Savannah Stockton's. You can see her. Yeah, it doesn't convert well into our software for.
I thought it was all redacted with all the blackouts.
No, that's just her phone number and her address and her email because we published this.
But the only one I know is Savannah. I don't know the other 2.
So that's Savannah, and if you keep going, this would be Monica Musgrove, and you can see she is serving on the chamber board, and then here is Karen Sosa.
I'm ready to make a,
We can do one at a time.
yes, so to place Savannah Stockton in Raquel Torres's position, is that what were you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second to replace Savannah Stockton with, no,
Replace Raquel with.
Raquel Torres with Savannah Stockton, sorry. Okay. All in favor of the motion, raise your right arm. Motion passes unanimously. On number 2, would anybody want to make a motion?
I do have another one if no one else does. So I would make a motion to place Monica Musgrove into Andrew Longoria's position.
We got a motion on the floor to replace Andrew Longoria with Monica Musgrove. All in favor? Oh, a second? Would anybody want to second that?
Second?
A second? Mr. Hancock? Any discussion?
I do have one question. How might this affect, her appointment affect the Chamber of Commerce, since she is a board member? Does she have to recuse herself, or does it matter, or
I don't think there's a conflict
not at this point?
here necessarily. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Got a motion, a second on the floor to replace Andrew Longoria with Monica Musgrove. All in favor? Raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now we're on a
All
closed
right.
session.
At this time, it is 7:14. We will be going into executive session for
Mhm.
for 3 items, which is closed executive session pursuant to section 551-072, deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, Civic Center. Item number 2, closed executive session pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 551-.071, consultation with attorney. Item number 3, closed executive session pursuant to Texas Local Government Code Section 551.074, personal matters, community services director. At this time, 7:15 PM, we'll be going into closed executive session.
Thank you all.
That's a notary. I don't know what kind of notary.
This right here?
He's the notary.
Oh, okay, so I'm signing it out.
Oh, he's signing it. Okay.
Well, so we're ready?
This one too?
We could call it the El Campo Area Services Center, or something like that. You know, you're gonna have to take the whole area, and because you got some farmers that don't live here that pay into the Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture.
Well, she's still gonna live.
Yeah, she did tell me that one time.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna come out
Get an area thing,
of,
you know.
closed session. It is 8:02 PM. Coming out of closed session with no action taken
On items 1, 2, or 3.
on items 1, 2, or 3. At this time, this meeting is adjourned.
Eugene, I was gonna say, your first meeting went too long.
Let it be known, huh?
Administer private